Welcome. My name is Brandon. Please join me on this tour of the Penn Central Mall in Oskaloosa, Iowa. You won't be able to tell from this boring hallway, but this is a fantastic mall. Iowa has so many gems. I should start by saying that Penn Central is not Oskaloosa's first mall. That shopping center opened as Atpic Mall at the end of the 1970s, right outside of town. Atpic was an abbreviation for All Things Possible in Christ, which is a fitting name as that building is now a church. Since I won't have a video about that mall, I might as well share more Atpic history. Some tenants of Atpic included a bank, supermarket, Maurice's, Radio Shack, and Spurgeon's. Atpic Mall was later renamed to Heartland Mall before closing in 2013. The building later housed a Dollar General and Slumberland furniture store before becoming the Oskaloosa campus of the Bridge Church. Oh, just look at this place. I saw photos of Penn Central a few years ago and was so excited to finally see the mall in person. The large open area we saw makes the shopping center look like a dead mall, but the place really comes alive when the mall hosts events in the large center area. While I shot most of this footage in July 2024 around 10:30 in the morning, before all the stores opened, I returned for pickups a year later, around lunchtime, and had a much different experience. Penn Central is another example of a city hoping to revitalize its downtown by building a mall smack dab in the middle of it. According to an article in the Oskaloosa News, the west side of town had declined between the 1950s and 1970s due to fires and building collapses. Leaders performed a study to determine retail needs. They found that many buildings were not up to standards, so they decided to tear them down for a large mall structure. Behind the glass is a montage of Oskaloosa history. Planners also wanted the new mall to be part of the existing town square. We will see how these connect at the end of the video. I normally keep negativity down in my videos, but while reading comments about this mall by locals, I felt that opinions needed to be shared as a counterpoint to my, "Oh wowie, look at this mall, isn't it swell?" Penn Central Mall was developed between 1983 and 1984. Cernitz and JCPenney signed on as original anchors. The mall opened in 1985 with over 70% occupancy. So a mere 7 years after Oskaloosa's first mall opened, the town of 10,000 residents now had 2 shopping centers. A new cinema also opened in 1985, across from the mall in what looks like an old shed. To quote Seth Gaines on Cinema Treasures, "Hey, we tore down your nice historic theater and 10 blocks of downtown to build an ugly mall, but here's a cheap prefab shed you can watch movies in." The theater Seth was referring to is most likely the Orpheum Theater that opened in 1917. It was later converted to other use, and then demolished for, quote, "an ugly little mall surrounded by surface parking." To repeat myself, these comments are not my own. I enjoy the 1980s look of this mall. I am a sucker for brick. In addition to stores and the large event space, Penn Central Mall included a montage of city history that we saw earlier in the video. Within months of Penn Central opening, the owner of Atpic Mall said that Penn Central was hurting his mall's business. He started doing a remodel and a name change in hopes of turning it around. In 1990, Kmart opened as a third anchor. The entrance to Kmart would have been straight ahead, behind that white wall. At the end of that same year, the Cernit department store announced it was going out of business. In 1992 or 93, Hy-Vee moved into the former Cernit space. In 1995, Kmart closed. Also in the mid-1990s, an outside company purchased the mall. Not being local, they did not care for the Oskaloosa montage and had it removed for a new tenant who wanted to use that spot for a display. According to the mall's 2005 website, Penn Central tenants included Christopher & Banks, Dollar General, GNC, Goodwill, Hy-Vee, JCPenney, Maurice's, a former AdPic tenant, McGregor's Furniture, Pizza Ranch, Radio Shack, another former AdPic tenant, and Regis Hairstylists. By 2009, the distant owners had failed to keep the mall relevant, and the mall was dying. Luckily, local lighting company Musco decided to purchase the mall the following year. I do not have a date for when McGregor Furniture closed, but after it did, the Hy-Vee expanded into its space. The Oskaloosa montage, which had been removed but kept safe, was unveiled with a ceremony on June 14, 2014. In 2017, JCPenney announced that they would close 138 stores, including the Penn Central location. The mall's owner, Musco, opened offices in the JCPenney space. In 2023, Musco continued to expand their presence in the mall. They sealed off the former Kmart entrance for private use. I wish I could have seen the hallway in person. However, if you want to see it digitally, I have a link to North Sea Dog's video back in 2022 in the comments. It's just a hallway, but it has a bunch of old brick. That upside-down sign ahead shows the old Pizza Ranch logo. That right-side-up sign ahead shows the current Pizza Ranch logo. Those sandwiches sound amazing. Too bad the owners were out of town. Maybe they'll be open next summer. At the beginning of 2024, the movie movie theater was closed. A new cinema was constructed outside of town, off the highway. So this takes us to July 2024. My video so far of Penn Central looks like others' videos and photographs. In fact, if my Osmo camera had not flaked out, I would have released another sad, quiet video about the dead Penn Central. I had filmed the entire interior of the mall, and I could not interact with my camera, and it would not turn off. Oh no. I don't think I backed up my footage from yesterday. Do I have to return to Eastern Iowa and refilm all their malls again next summer? Will all those malls still be open? Oh, no. Instead of going to Quincy Place, I zoomed back to Des Moines. Back at my hotel, however, I realized I could fix my Osmo the way one fixes a computer. Hold down the power button for 10 seconds, and then turn it back on. I'm smart. I did not have time to return that weekend, so I returned the following July for pickups and to film the exterior. As I arrived, I was shocked that I could not park in the tiny lot that this video started in. I guess everyone's here for the car show across the street. Not much parking near Hy-Vee either. Guess it's grocery day. I walked into Penn Central and what the heck? The mall was absolutely packed. I had to squeeze by people buying and selling collectibles to get to the center area. Guess I'm not refilming anything inside the mall today, but I did take some photographs. If you visit Penn Central's Facebook page, you will see that events occur quite often in the mall. While I did not capture more video, I did get to try the Italian sandwich place. When I walked in and heard the owner speak to me in an Italian accent, I knew I was going to have a good sandwich, or panino as they call them in Italian. I also ordered an espresso, which the man served after the large meal to keep me awake. And let's head out this exit, where we can see the alley between the old downtown and the mall. Will I ever return to Penn Central? Normally I would say not unless something changes. But the mall is only an hour away from Des Moines, which I visit every summer. And that sandwich, might be worth another 2-hour round trip next July. So where am I going next? My next video will be about the Quincy Place Mall in Ottumwa, Iowa, which I finally visited in July 2025. If you are from the area, what do you think of Penn Central? Also, do you have any good memories of the old Adpec Mall? Thank you for joining me on this tour of Penn Central Mall. I hope you have a great day. Take care. Hey, what is all of this? I was not expecting all these modern buildings outside the mall. This is an expansion of the Musco Lighting Company. They have done more work with the old Kmart building and expanded into the parking lot. From this side of the street, you would never think there's an old mall just a block away.